Hello everyone, good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to technical session 4C. Myself, Harsh Soni, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Sustainable Development, ICT4SD 2024, Goa. The 9th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Goa, and, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow. That means 8th and 9th of August 2024. In this session, we have 10 presentations, and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder so you can conclude your presentation on time. And I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. And there's another request to all the participants that you may all please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. Further, if you have any query or any update, you can write it to me directly in the chat box. Okay, so just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for this session, Dr. Kalpesh M. Popat. Dr. Kalpesh is presently working as an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics at Saurashtra University, Rajkot, Gujarat, India. In worldwide journals with Scopus and SIS indexes, his areas of interest include graph theory, business and mathematical statistics, R programming, discrete mathematics, and more. We welcome you, sir. So if you want to give some remarks to the authors.
Yes. So thank you so much, Harsh, for your introduction. Good morning to all the students who have joined from the different region of India. I was communicated that there are 10 highly good presenters who are going to present the research on ICT for sustainability. So I wish you best of luck for the great presentation. I'm quite excited. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now I'd like to start with the presentations. Our first presenter is Pravira Kumar Sethi, and he's going to presenting on backside optimization in CNN models for chest X-ray image analysis and analytical investigation. Do we have him, sir, here? Okay, so I think so he's not available. Moving for the next presentation, Dipanjali Mishra, and she's going to presenting on digital darshan, a new perspective of pilgrim tourism during ongoing pandemic.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harsh Soni, sir. I am very much present, so I would like to start with the presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
But before I start, my heartfelt thanks goes to the organizers and the session chairs for organizing this conference so well, so nicely. And now, please allow me to share the screen so that I can.
You may.
Okay, a very warm good morning to all. The topic of my presentation is Digital Darshan, a new perspective of pilgrimage tourism during the ongoing pandemic. I started this research during the pandemic when, to be very honest, every year we go for pilgrimage to different places. And it includes Dwarka in Gujarat, Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi, like that. And then suddenly, when there was COVID pandemic, we were deprived from visiting there, and that made me think what can be an alternative, because this, and the credit for this goes to my parents. My mom used to always tell me, think of an alternative, so that I can have an opportunity to have the darshan. So I started this research. So I'll be talking about the following. I'll give a brief introduction on this, and then I'll talk about the impact of COVID on tourism, review of literature, impact of spiritualism after e-darshans, conclusion, and scope for further research. So I would start with a quote: culture that is defined by Taylor. It is a very complex phenomenon. The whole and it is the whole includes. Okay, my slides are not moving. I just got a message. So is it moving now, ma'am? Rashmi, ma'am?
Yes, yes, it is moving. You may continue.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes. It is a very complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, custom, and many other capabilities and habits that are acquired by man as a member of the society. Culture can be high conditioned, moderately conditioned, or low conditioned. All these lead to pilgrimage or visit to have a glimpse of the deities or holy shrines. Like when we talk about high conditioned culture, moderately condition culture and low condition culture, I would say that countries like countries from like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and these are some of, and also France and Germany. These are the countries which come under high conditioned culture. Moderately conditioned India is comparatively flexible to the culture issues, so it is in moderately conditioned culture, and low condition comes US, UK, which are very, very, very much open to culture, and they are very much very, very flexible.
Sorry for interrupting, but I think so your slides are not.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. Now it's
Okay, so what is the impact of COVID-19 on tourism? The Indian economy was expected to lose over 32,000 crore every day during the first 25 days of complete lockdown, which was declared following the outbreak of COVID virus. Under complete lockdown, less than a quarter of India's 2.8 trillion economic movement was functional. The countries which shared maximum revenue from travel and tourism was the United States of America, which amounted to huge 580.7 billion USD. At the same time, the city which contributed maximum GDP to the world economy from travel and tourism is surprisingly Macau. Some of the literature that I have taken, that is historical and archaeological movements, monuments continue to be the biggest draw in attracting international tourists. Kalman in 2010 has given a simple definition of culture, that it is the way of life, it is the way we live, it is the clothes which we wear, the food that we eat, the language that we speak, the stories which we tell, and the ways we celebrate or express each other. Also, it is the way we show our imagination by tradition, which we have learned from our ancestors. It includes art, music, literature. So basically, as per the definition of Kalman, I would say culture consists of everything. The temples which generate high revenue in India is Padmanabha Temple, Tiruvananthapuram, Venkateshwara Temple of Tirupati, Sai Temple of Shirdi, Siddhivinayak Temple of Mumbai, Jagannath Temple of Puri, Vaishno Devi Temple of Jammu, Kashi Vishwanath Temple of Varanasi. So, so these are the temples which are in order. Okay. Now, what is the impact of spiritualism after e-darshan? So normally what happens when during the pandemic, many I would say websites, they came forward and they started streaming live the artis, they started streaming live the darshans, and which facilitated people in many ways. Impact of digitalization to revive spiritualism, and they are like examples are movies, digital darshans, and digital artis. So due to lockdown in times of COVID-19, the craze for virtual puja has increased by 40% as per the opinion of Ajay V, who is the founder and CEO of 27 mantra. Normally, what happens is since people were not able to go and perform the pujas, they try to give money, they try to transfer money, and the puja would be performed by the people over there who are the pandits, and then they would also send the video of that puja, so that again benefited people. Mantra is a religious consecrated service provider which is based in Tanjavur in the state of Tamil Nadu. It facilitates the interested people to perform online Hindu rituals, religious rituals like Mahamrityunjay Jap, Havan, Chalisa, etc. at various temples. It arranges remedial pujas, Havans to conduct archanas apart from e-prasad delivery. So these are some of the clips that I have taken on this digital darshans. Okay, this year the grandeur has been lessened due to COVID-19. The entry will be purely based on limited invitation. We request all devotees to stay with us virtually on this auspicious day. This was the quote by Brajendra Nandan Das, Vice President of ISKCON, New Delhi, for the pujas. He encouraged people to go for virtual pujas. So I'll conclude my presentation. Digitalization has emerged as the new way of life in each and every aspects. Digital darshan of deities through virtual mode is one of the most convenient process of those pilgrims who are unable to visit the pilgrimage sites and have darshan. It not only saves the money and time, but it also gives a spiritual peace to these people who are a party to the artis, pujas process and other rituals. And I will also give an example. Normally, what happens, this thing was being performed many years ago for this Rath Yatra. Everyone knows Rath Yatra is the famous festival in Odisha, which has gained worldwide importance. And during that time, during the early time, the television, when there was only Doordarshan, they used to telecast it live, and which facilitated people to have darshan of the god. And even there I have also seen people performing aarti on their television. So these are, and now this thing has taken YouTube has taken this, and people are now watching YouTubes for this for having a digital darshan. So with this I would like to end my presentation. So, yeah, I also scope for further studies. It could prove to be an alternative for visitors, as it would provide ample opportunities to explore not only the spiritual dimension, but also it would provide a virtual tour to all those who are interested to explore the world but are not able to do so due to the time or money constraints. So these are some of the references that I have taken. And now I'd like to end my presentation with a thank you note, and I will stop slide share.
Okay, so is there any question for the presenter, sir?
Yes, just want to ask something.
Please, sir.
Can we go for a reference?
Yes,
Please,
yes.
Reference.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so it's a good idea. I would say it's a quite interesting idea as well. But there are few things that you need to include which you have not covered.
Yes,
That are there any platform or websites which are providing e-lessons?
Sir, I can. There are some platforms, like I usually do it. I usually see it on YouTube, and I will, as you have said, to be very honest, I don't know about the platforms, but I know there are platforms. I think MH1, which is a platform to which provides digital darshan of Vaishno Devi Ma, MH1.
Okay. The second and most important thing is that in India, tourism has a high impact on economy. But
Yes.
based on tourism, many people are getting businesses like hotel business, right? So, what do you think? What will be impact of e-darshan on economy?
Yes. In this,
Because
I would.
most of the people in India will go for e-darshan, nobody will go for a tour.
Sir,
If
actually,
there
that
are
is.
less people are going for a tour, then many people will lose their businesses.
Yes, sir, I would rather say that this is a supplement which was, I mean, I could say this provided an alternative. But now, when I would also like to say that I was looking at I was taking some of the statistical data, and the number of pilgrims have increased, tourists have increased. If whether it is Somnath temple, whether it is Dwarkadish temple, whether it is Kashi Vishwanath temple. I was in Dwarkadish temple this March, and before 4 or 5 years, I had gone there, and I saw the number of people, devotees. I think it has doubled, and we had to.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's correct, because in pandemic it is good idea. Because
yes, that is what I said.
some people are not able to go for darshan, they can go for e-darshan.
Yes.
But in a regular basis, it
Yes.
is quite dangerous idea, I would say, because it will have a high impact on economy, because Indian economy is mostly based on tourism, because
Tourism.
for many people getting businesses. So this is what I would say. So I think you should also include some slides which is also related to economy, as well as some platform. So this is
Yes.
just a suggestion. Otherwise, it is a very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you for your nice presentation. Okay, moving forward for the next presentation, Pravira Kumar Shetty is here and is going to presenting on batch size optimization in CNN models for chest X-ray image analysis and analytical investigation. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Raman, and I'm going to present the topic batch size optimization in CNN models for chest X-ray image analysis and analytical investigation. So let's move on to introduction part. The impact of batch size on the performance of convolutional neural network for chest X-ray image analysis is a critical area of study within the field of medical image analysis and deep learning. So the CNN is a specialized type of artificial neural network specially designed for analyzing visual data or processing visual data such as images and videos. Batch size in the context of deep learning and machine learning refers to the number of training samples used in each iteration during the training of a model. For this work, the focus is on understanding how the choice of batch size overall affects the CNN models when it is applied to chest X-ray images. So the motivation behind this work is to improve the efficiency and accuracy of deep learning models in medical image analysis, especially the chest X-ray images. Focusing on for medical imaging tasks, hyperparameters, especially batch size, significantly impact CNN performance. Conduct a detailed analytical investigation into the batch size for chest X-ray image analysis, and systematically optimize batch size to uncover the ideal configuration. The objective behind this study is to systematically analyze and optimize batch size in convolutional neural network models for the image analysis. Enhance efficiency of the ideal batch size, contribute valuable insights into optimal batch size selection, and nuanced understanding of the interplay between batch size and the performance of the CNN model. Here are some of the literature reviews or the references that involve methodology, batch size, and achieved goals. We have taken various authors. For some of them are like Rochmanti of 2023, and these are some of the authors and their work. For the study, we have used this dataset of 13 levels of NIH chest X-ray, where 13 categories of chest X-ray images such as atelectasis, cardiomyology, mass nodule, etc. are used. In this table, we have illustrated the type of disease and the number of diseases that have taken. And the number of images that we have taken for training of the model. These are the diseases that we have used. So the methodology involved in this study is we have taken 13 distinct types of thorax disease images with a resolution of 1024 into 1024 across various batch sizes ranging from 16 to 1024. To comprehensively assess the impact, we have also used two optimizers, namely SGDM and ADAM. It has also extended to deployment of 18 convolutional neural networks combinations for batch sizes and optimizers. This is the experimental execution of the experiment. First, we have taken the chest X-ray images, and we have parted it ways into 80% training data and 20% test data. We have given it through to the various batch sizes from 16 to 1024, and then it passed through the convolutional neural network model, and we have found our thorax disease image classified. The result we are getting from this experiment is as follows. And the accuracy we have got from this experiment is like this for the 18 disease models across two optimizers, SGDM and ADAM. This is the sensitivity chart for what we have got from the experiment, and this is the specificity chart that we have got. So finally, the results are from this table. We can conclude that higher accuracy and sensitivity scores are achieved for larger batch size, and the optimized batch size can vary depending on specific CNN model, optimizers, or dataset characteristics. For accuracy, several models like AlexNet, DarkNet, GoogleNet, etc. Is getting accuracy more, such as for batch size 5112, 512, and 1024. For sensitivity, it increases with like from larger batch size for some models, and for some other models like DenseNet, EfficientNet, it may show optimal intermediate batch size. For specificity, generally it shows stability or improvement with larger batch size for multiple models. Now let's get to the conclusion part. Batch size optimization is a crucial for improving the accuracy and speed of the convolutional neural networks on chest X-ray datasets. Although larger batch sizes often contribute to improved accuracy, but the optimal batch size is model dependent. For our experiment, we have got GoogleNet with SGDM has emerged as a standout performer, achieving the accurate parameters at a batch size of 5.2. These are some of the references. Thank you. Thank you from my side. I am concluding this.
So do you have any question for them?
Yes. So Raman, I would like to request you please go to the result and conclusion slide.
Okay.
Yes. Previous.
Okay, sir. Okay. 1 second.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you can see you have written accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity.
Yes.
Can you elaborate these three? What is accuracy? What is sensitivity? What is specificity?
So these are the parameters that we have taken for our result. Accuracy is how much we are getting close the result data to the ideal data, or close to the ideal data. And sensitivity and specificity are the parameters that we have illustrated for to do the better study about our research.
And what are these? You have not mentioned the number. What is the accuracy of this model? What is sensitivity? and
So
specificity?
we have got the results in this the slides that
So
we have this
from
specificity for each.
yes. So I'm saying that from the collected data, you may calculate accuracy, specificity, and sensitivity. But your
Yes,
because if you are writing that highest accuracy, somewhere you have in conclusion or result you have written higher accuracy. So better to write higher accuracy, you should write the
yes,
number, for example, 99% accuracy or 99.5% accuracy. That would be the better thing. This is
okay,
just a suggestion.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Okay, so moving forward for the next presentation. Next we have Dave Rohit, and he's going to presenting on exploration of historical and modern perspective on hand gesture recognition with AI and ML. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Our review paper is titled as Exploration of Historical and Modern Perspective on Hand Gesture Recognition with AI and ML. Just a second. Our paper ID is 478. Firstly, let's talk about what is human-computer interaction and how is hand gesture recognition an aspect of HCI. So hand gesture recognition is a technology or a research field which deals with designing and usage of the interface between computer and a human. It can be either audio based, it can be visual based, or it can be sensory based. But I am explaining this thing in order to means because it is relevant for our further unconventionally mix these fields up in order to get better results and drive innovation. Also, the range of applications of hand gesture recognition are very vast, be it healthcare, be it robotics, be it agriculture, or even gaming. For example, here we see that this is an application of hand gesture recognition in augmented reality, as we can see in this GIF. The purpose of this study was to have a comprehensive overview of the evolution of hand gesture recognition of our curiosity, and so that we can contribute to the research and development in this field. Also to identify the key milestones, challenges, and opportunities in the field. Also to contribute to a deeper understanding of the potential and limitations of hand gesture recognition, paving the way for future innovations and applications. So the objectives of our study were mainly driven by these three questions. The first one being, is hand gesture recognition only about machine learning? The second one is, which are some traditional techniques and what are the needs? What were the need to improve them? The third one is, which novel methodologies have been introduced after these traditional technologies, and which of these is used most extensively these days and in which particular field? The literature review timeline goes like this, that we started with getting an overview of major techniques which were used and which are being used right now for hand gesture recognition. But as we did so, we realized that the techniques, although they are equally important, but what we miss out most of the time is the area of application. The area of application has its own set of challenges for ground level implication of this hand gesture recognition technology. So that when we start to understand and explore associated on ground implementation of various fields, the fields that already mentioned in the introduction slide. So we will be discussing also in the coming slides. But with that, I just see the band on this person is EMG, called electromyogram. This electromyogram is responsible for capturing the
I think so. There is a technical issue. We'll wait for 10 to 15 seconds. If he is come, then we continue. If not, then we'll move forward to the next presentation.
excuse. I'm sorry. My internet connectivity just got disrupted. Did I left off?
Yes, you can continue from your presentation.
Can I please know that at which point did I get disconnected? Because I am unaware of it. Okay,
Sir,
fine.
have you noticed
No
any
problem.
point?
I'll start from the last slide that I was explaining.
You were in
Okay.
literature review, Aday Purohit.
Okay, thank you so much. I guess it is this one.
Yes.
Did I means I was talking about this particular image. Was this conveyed, or do I repeat this thing?
You may continue, no problem.
Okay, sir, means this is an electromyogram, and it captures the. Just a second, I'll present it well here. It captures the electrical signals in the muscles, and that data is used to control this drone. We will see how it is relevant in the literature review. Moving ahead, I have shortlisted, or I mean, I have added some of those papers which we have reviewed. We have actually reviewed papers or something, and we have finally used 30 papers for our review paper. The first one is motion estimation and hand gesture recognition based on human UAV interaction approach in real time. So UAV basically means aerial control. So how did UAV control initially existed? It was with the use of RCs, remote controls. But later there came in the technology which came in the picture was vision. So there is a camera which will sense the position and gesture of your hand, and then it will the drone move. But this particular paper has proposed such an innovation to mix the IMU data along with the vision feedback. IMU is inertial measurement unit, and it basically captures the acceleration, the torque, the velocity, and all those things. And that data is used to control the unmanned aerial vehicle. And this is a novel technology which is currently used in this field. The second paper that I have mentioned here is intelligent gesture recognition system for deaf people by using convolutional neural networks and IoT. The domain is linguistics, and by the way, linguistics has been means it is almost 20% of our review work, because linguistics is a very major field of application of hand gesture recognition. This paper has provided a 10-layer convolutional neural network, and what this basically does is, suppose if you are talking to a particular person who cannot listen and who cannot speak by birth, this particular technology will convert his sign language, whatever he does in the sign language, the people who cannot understand sign language. So this was the second paper, and it provided a remarkable 99.8% accuracy. with the help of 10-layer convolutional networks. It was basically LXNet and LetNet style. The third paper was user independent hand gesture recognition classification model using sensor fusion. I have basically tried to incorporate all the different fields, the areas which I was mentioning about, which are the applications of hand gesture recognition. First, we saw UAV, that is basically a drone. Then we saw this linguistics. Third one is rehabilitation. Suppose a person does not have an arm, or his arm is cut off from the halfway. So this methodology introduces IMU data combined with electromyography data, and it is aided with the machine learning technique of adaptive least squares and support vector machines. This thing basically, when you wear this EMG on your hand, so this data is sent to the prosthetic limb or the prosthetic arm, and then that that EMG data can be used to control the hand gestures of the prosthetic arm itself. The fourth one is a pathway into metaverse. Gesture recognition enabled wearable resistive sensors. So the domain of the application is virtual reality. The methodology used is wearable resistive sensors combined with machine vision. So resistive sensors they will basically, it's like a glove, and it senses all the flexion, extension, and all the things, means the motion of the fingers and the arm, and then it combines with the machine vision in order to make a gesture in the metaverse. So suppose means I know that all of the people sitting here are technically sound, so they must be knowing about metaverse. So I'm not going into the details of metaverse right now. The fifth one, the next one is EMG based dynamic hand gesture recognition using Edge AI for human robot interaction. Now this domain is industrial robot. We will shortly see the images and the relevance of these things. I could not incorporate all those in one slide, so I have kept in the next slides. Basically, this thing uses CRNN, convolutional recurrent neural networks, on EMG data. EMG, the electromyography thing that I just mentioned in the previous slide, with Edge AI platforms. And these things are used with the help of ROS, Robot Operating System, in order to control how the industrial arm functions. We will shortly look at how the application is done in the next few slides. The next is the domain of gaming and virtual reality. The paper title goes by Multi-Features Capacitive Hand Gesture Recognition Sensor, a machine learning approach. The thing is that most of the sensors are based on resistive technology, as we previously saw. But this one is used by capacitive sensor.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you have last 1 minute for the conclusion.
Okay, sorry, I'll quickly wind it up. The next thing is these are independent research which were done for the sake of improving the accuracy of the field in the hand gesture recognition itself. This is the development methodology of a specific, we can say, the technique or methodology used to build a sophisticated hand gesture recognition system. As I previously mentioned, this is an industrial robot, and the thing on his arm is an EMG, electromyogram. He is using the EMG and IMU sensors data, which is used to ultimately control this arm and make the gestures. The results are all mentioned, although in the review paper, but due to lack of time, I'll just quickly say that the robotics is mainly these nowadays driven by the IMU and EMG technologies. The linguistics is further driven by, we can say, this CNN and machine vision. The healthcare and rehabilitation are driven by again EMG data, but it is censored with we have to combine it with operate it on robot operating system in order to implement it on the industrial robotics. and there are other fields as well. The findings are, while deep learning techniques are leading the research work with majority work done using convolutional neural network, we reviewed some 55 papers, and out of those papers, the maximum was convolutional neural network used in the hand gesture recognition technology. Although traditional techniques such as SVM, support vector machines, and K nearest neighbors combined with modern architecture is closely following the lead. It is not, I will shortly, let's cover it only. It is not such that the machine learning technique is everything. The application, the area of application is equally important, and the tools which will aid the machine learning process are equally important. Suppose the EMG data, suppose the IMU data. So that is it is more important to identify the problem statement first, and then it does not matter if you use the high-tech convolutional neural networks or LSTMs or those things. You can also easily implement things and get a better accuracy by support vector machines and k-nearest neighbors as well. Here we can see the American Sign Language. This person is deaf and dumb, cannot speak, but that specific device that I just introduced can convert it to text and audio. Key takeaways are hand gesture recognition is not limited to machine learning alone, and it should be aided by relevant tools. Traditional methods were image segmentation, statistical pattern recognition, HHMs, SVMs, color-based segmentation, etc. The key advancements were in the field of deep learning architectures, which included CNN, RNN, LSTM, computer vision techniques, and improved sensor technologies. The relevance of this field is ever increasing. Here we can see.
Please conclude your presentation as your time limits are.
Sorry. I will conclude by this thing. This is my own this is my own project. Me and my friends have developed this game using computer vision. We know this dino game, but we are playing this with the help of our hand gestures. I'm sorry, I delayed the thing, and I would like to conclude it over here. These are the references, and thank you for viewing.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Dear sir, you have any question for the presentation?
Yes, just one suggestion that whenever you are presenting something,
Yes,
you
sir.
should put less amount of data in slide so that somebody can read and identify your research. But I have seen many slides in which there are huge amount of data within a short period of time. Nobody can read this. So this is just a suggestion for the future presentation.
Definitely, sir. I will can take it into consideration.
Okay, thank you for your nice presentation. Okay, so for moving forward for the next presentation, next we have Rashmi More, and she's going to presenting on exploring trust factors in virtual finance, the role of human-computer interaction in shaping user intentions in metaverse banking. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
The screen
And I
which
request you all that you may please stick to the timeline as we have back-to-back sessions today.
I think the previous participant has to stop sharing so that I can share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, you can now, please.
I'm getting this particular message here. You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
And screen is not shared yet. I have stopped my screen
Yeah,
sharing. You can
thank you.
try it.
Yeah, now I can.
Yes, please.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, please.
Is this in the full mode, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, panel members and my dear friends and colleagues on the platform. I thank this conference to giving me this opportunity and presenting this paper on the title and the topic of metaverse banking. And my title of the paper is Exploring Trust Factors in Virtual Finance, the Role of Human-Computer Interaction in Shaping User Intentions to Utilize Metaverse Services for Banking Purpose. My flow of the presentation would be in these 5 categories broadly. Background and introduction, theoretical framework, literature review, research methodology adapted, data analysis and interpretation, findings, observations, and conclusion, which will include also the future scope of the research. To give the fundamental base behind, we all are aware, metaverse, virtual reality, augmented reality, which enables us to use through usage of computer devices, which actually builds the human-computer interaction, and where we can land ourselves in the immersive technology. That is, we experience the immersive world by or through communication networks connected by the computer. And today, the digital economy, which comprises Web 3.0 based technologies, which covers equally like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, Internet of Things, cloud, edge computing, blockchain, and other technologies are revolutionized, or rather revolutionizing the future of banking and giving us the opportunity to use those services, avoiding physical space and visit the bank branches to avail banking and financial services. And it is estimated that the metaverse world will reach, rather from in the year 2024, as per Statista report, the value has gone up to $74.4 million, and is projected that it will rise to 37.73 CAGR between 24 to 2030. And also, we see the number of users in metaverse is expected to reach 2633 million by 2030. And that is one of the reasons where it entails the user adoption of metaverse technology, and where we see market growth worldwide. In this process of usage and adoption, still we find a lot many people who are not well versed with online banking or internet banking or usage of human computer will restrict themselves by using with respect to the aspects which are like privacy, security, which actually rather acts as a hindrance in the process of adopting such new novel technologies. And users expect that systems to be trusted by us and used without encountering any challenges. Hence, the question of reliability of the system comes into the picture, and a user should feel interesting to use that particular concept in order to avail services. And this services, no doubt, metaverse presents many and seamless opportunities, but they are not free from challenges. And the challenges comes with respect to the data governance, privacy concerns, trust in the system, digital identity issues, and the interoperability amongst diverse immersive worlds that represents a complex facet on the part of user. Considering this background, let me introduce the concept as it's a newly rather developed technology, and it is growing at a massive scale. No doubt, academicians and researchers have started investigating, examining the societal effects of this immersive technology with respect to the trust, privacy, and psychological aspects in the process of adoption of metaverse. Very few studies have focused on assessing the human-computer interaction issues and application of the same in the metaverse. Research studies in the past have highlighted that human-computer application in metaverse is very rocky. That is, it has got a lot of challenges. And very little is known about to what extent people trust, and that would influence in their usage using this human-computer interaction. And certain concerns have popped up with reference to the literature which has been carried out. Based upon this base of introduction, this concept highlights that metaverse and human-computer interaction is the matter of concern which has to be studied and carried forward. Under the same, the current study focused on the trust issues of the users in using metaverse through human-computer interaction. The use of human-computer interaction in availing banking and financial services on metaverse, and where the role of trust factor influencing the individual in its usage. And for that purpose, this study has considered human-computer trust measurement scale to analyze the trust factors rather affecting the intention to use. So the study proposes the objective as to inspect the influencing association of trust elements in metaverse on usage intention by using multidimensional trust scale to assess user trust in human-computer interaction and metaverse on banking. Where we see the conceptual framework, it is very clearly presented. Let me not take up the whole, but more I will concentrate on the first point, where we say human-computer interaction is a phenomenon where humans and computers exchange information. And thereby, it's a very fundamental base which helps us to connect to the technology, since we are very versed with using human computer base of connecting to internet world or world on rather using website services. And that actually helps us to understand how best we can connect with technology worldwide. And for that purpose, human-computer interaction trust measurement was considered for the study, which has got 4 components. Component 1, perceived risk, which is defined as any action of a customer or an individual or a person that leads to any unpleasant consequences in its usage. Benevolence is another element of human-computer interaction trust measurement scale, which says in technology it provides requisite, effective, and receptive support to the user that would eventually help him to attain his specific objectives related to his work or his personal life. Competence denotes the technology system has a direct representation of all its useful features, and that helps in operational functionalities of that particular device to accomplish his task. Reciprocity, which helps to understand a person finding the computer helpful in accomplishing their task. They reciprocate generously by adopting and continuously using the system and build a synergetic association with that particular technology system. Considering this background, taken that research methodology where references from various past studies which has been used to achieve the objective. The objective was, as stated, study to analyze, assess the trust factors affecting the intention to use the banking services on metaverse using human-computer interaction trust. And that descriptive research approach has been used. A non-probability convenience sampling technique along with snowball method was adapted, since this particular primary source of data collection was meant for only those respondents who had banking, rather bank accounts, and have the prospects to use metaverse in the long run, since Indian banks as well as foreign banks have adopted this particular platform to offer banking services. To give example of Indian banks adopting metaverse services is Union Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. These banks have already presented their products and services on metaverse. So where 300 online questionnaire were circulated using that questionnaire, the items of the questionnaire adapted from the human-computer trust measurement scale validated by Mr. Siddharth Gulati, and the item of intention of use was adapted from Davis F. 1989 paper, which he has presented and validated. To analyze the data, which SCM structure equation modeling has been used using smart PLS software technique, which has been rather presenting the model and its results. So on the basis of literature review, 5 hypotheses have been developed, which is presented here. That is, perceived risk negatively impacts trust in the usage intention of banking services and metaverse, along with benevolence, as well as the competence, also with the reciprocity and the trust factor influences the intention to use banking services on metaverses. This proposed direct association and trust factor as mediating effect, which has been presented. Considering this particular model, where we see the results, which we could present in the form of, very first, I would take you to the demographic, only 3 components of demographic characteristics which were rather presented in the questionnaire: age group, education, and the particular individual belonging to the industry. So majority of the people belong to the age of 35 to 45. 35% is in the 25 to 35 age group, and only 9% are above 45 age. Educational, if at all we look at the demographic characteristics, 69% are from postgraduate studies who have completed, and 21% are graduate, and only 10% are the 10th standard pass. And majority individuals which I could circulate, and where it was a convenience sampling method which was used, where IT and ITS people have responded to this particular question. And since we consider them as a technology savvy and have got the prospect to use these financial services in the near future. And rest, which we could see, where we are able to produce the reliability and convergence validity, that is the process result extracted from smart PLS, where Cronbach alpha, which measures the reliability and validity of the items in the particular questionnaire, which should be over and above 0.7, and all the constructs and their items as presenting as which is visible here, along with the composite reliability and extracted variance, which should be above 0.50 and which is meeting those required standards. Very next to that, we see the discriminant.
Interrupt you here also, but you have last 1 minute for the presentation.
Yes, we will be completing this. and presenting the discriminating validity also meeting with the Fornell and Larker. And when you come on the right-hand side, we have the hypothesis where only 2 hypotheses have not supported that it perceived risk is affecting the trust. That means people are prepared to take the risk and would like to use that services. And whereas reciprocity is also not supporting because they actually would like to experiment that and check their possible option of using it. That's the reason they are not supported. And below that, we have this particular measurement model which is predicting these results. Taking up the conclusion, future scope of research and the limitation, we found 3 variables, namely benevolence, competence, are statistically significant and have confirmed that it is a significant predictor of trust. Perceived risk, respectively, are not statistically significant, which has been presented based upon your analytical slide which has been presented. Trust is significantly impacting their intention to use metaverse for banking purposes. Finally, if you look at the empirical contribution made by the study, this model has got the ability to introduce or add more external exogenous variables to SCTM model, which will enhance the trust predictability about this, the model to be used by the stakeholders and can be applied to check whether the human computer technology measurement is helpful in adapting the metaverse, and we can analyze the factors. The limitation, which I would say, as I mentioned, I have circulated only to those who have bank accounts and would like to use metaverse for banking purposes. And this is purely in the urban sector where the questionnaire was circulated. And future scope, which I can present, cluster sampling technique can be applied where the clusters related to various different age groups it can be conducted, such as specifically for Gen Z, baby boomers, and millennials can be conducted. Different sectors also can be adapted in the process of to study separately. This profession-wise, it can be conducted and utilized. That's all from my answer. The references which have been used nominally, which are the recent references extracted from various websites, Scopus-based index websites, and Embroiled Insight, Elsevier, etc., where currently this particular topic is very hot in the market. That's all from my answer. Thank you so much. I would like to take any questions if the audience and the panel member has.
Yes, so first of all, I would like to congratulate you for a wonderful presentation. It was very nice.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to ask one question that in one slide, that is slide number 7, you have,
Yes, sir.
you have done the statistical analysis. So which software you are using to do this statistical analysis?
Which come again, sir, if you don't mind?
Which software or which methodology you are using for this particular statistical analysis? Are you using?
Sir, I have used Smart PLS, which I have used the statistical tool to create the model and validate the model, since it gives me the impact and the model configuration.
Can
And
you
this
the statistical test that you have used?
regression, which generally it presents, and the correlation which it is presented as, how it is impacting.
Right. Okay. Wonderful.
Okay,
Good.
sir. Thank you so much. Let me stop
Thank you
sharing.
for your next presentation here also. Okay, so moving forward for the next presentation. Next
Sir,
we
give me a
have
minute.
TA.
Sir,
Sorry?
give me a minute. I would like to stop sharing. Okay.
Okay, not an issue.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So next we have TA Elka, and she's going to be presenting on role of mobile commerce in rural entrepreneurship. The presenter, you may please start your presentation. Elka, are you there? Okay, so she's not seeing this meeting. So now moving for the next presentation. Next we have Ayush Dige, and he's going to present on Rumax, integrating data-driven analytics and user-friendly interfaces for optimized meeting room booking. The presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Hi, am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
I'll just be sharing my screen. Just give me a minute. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so a very good morning to everyone who's present, and thank you for joining us. I am really excited to present our meeting room booking system, which is called as RoomX. So, just a small introduction before we start. So, as we know, in today's fast paced environment, effective time management and resource allocation is a very crucial part for increasing the productivity. But there are certain challenges that we face, such as and in with respect to meeting rooms, which is double bookings, underutilization of rooms, and the time consuming task of coordinating schedules. So we have developed this project in such a way so that it issues by providing a user friendly, efficient, and a very scalable solution for all of them. This is the table of contents or the list of topics which I will be going through. The first is project idea, which is then followed by the aim and objective. Third is the literature review, which is the research papers which are present right now, the existing systems, which is our competitions and motivation, the proposed system, which is our project, implementation, conclusion, and references. So let's begin. So first is the project idea. Room X, the meeting room booking system, we have designed it in such a way so that it provides us with a very seamless booking experience. It's a very simple, easy to understand, and a straightforward project so that anyone who's using it will not face any kind of difficulties as such. Second, the main factor or the main characteristic of a project is providing detailed analytics to the users, which is providing an analytics dashboard to the company or the organization with the help of tools such as Power BI. Email notification and Google Calendar integration is also one of the features. So you can sync your own schedule with the Google Calendar so that others are able to view it. Straightforward booking with transparency. Straightforward booking with transparency suggests that the users which are present in the system, so this system will be a single coherent system for everyone. So each of them will be able to view what's happening instead of hiding certain details about the meetings or the meeting room booking system. And the main person or the main entity who will be controlling the room management features is definitely the admin, which will be assigned by the organization, and it's their call basically. So we have three main objectives for this project. First is to eliminate the uh, issue of multi-domain. And when I say multi-domain, I mean if we have a holding company and below that we have the subsidiaries, which are the what do you say, a child companies basically. So the employees of these child companies will be having a different domain, and domain is basically a work email. So collaborating with each other with respect to meeting rooms, a physical meeting room is quite difficult even with Google Meets. I'll be going into the details shortly. So we have eliminated that such that Room X will be a single coherent system for each and everyone. The second objective is providing with detailed analysis to all the users and to the organization so that they will be able to take some better informed decisions, and they'll be able to utilize the resources and also time effectively and efficiently. And the third is creating a very simple, straightforward application for the users and administrators, and making sure that it is flexible and adaptive to any changes to new technologies which will be introduced in the future, so that it goes with the flow and it goes with the current trends also. So literature review, let's get into that. So we have referred to four main papers. There were not quite a lot of papers to review, but this is what we found to the best. First is a smart room optimization. In this paper, it is more of a technical and hardware paper where they were using PIR sensors, and PIR sensors are basically for human movement detection. So when you're logging into the meeting room and we're getting out, so it will check if you're there or if you're not there, so that it prevents underutilization of the room and resources. Second is Book the Room. Book the Room is a mobile application which was made with technology such as Dart and Flutter. It's a very simple, quick meeting room application which they have developed. But the one thing which they lacked was the number of features. So it was just booking the meeting room, and that's it. Like no other technicalities or features included in that. The third is a conference room reservation system. This paper or this project was made with PHP, JavaScript, and HTML. Again, a very simple and straightforward application, just like Book the Room. And the fourth one was a bit interesting and a bit different, which was IoT based smart home system. So in that, they were using IoT devices such as checking the temperature of the room, checking the infrared radiations, and all other sort of these technicalities to make this meeting room booking system. So this was also more of a technical and hardware based, and it was also an expensive project from what we could see, but there was quite a high accuracy in forecasting and analysis also. So these are the existing systems which have a competition. I mean, they are a competition for us and also a motivation for us. So the first one is Minical. The second one is called as SCADA. The third is Work in Sync, and the fourth is Team Up. So all these existing systems which are there, all of them have what do you say, almost the same amount of features and the same types of features. But the main catch behind it is these have a pricing, and those pricings are based on either number of users or the number of booking rooms. And even when it comes to number of users or number of booking rooms, they have a certain limitation. So only example, let's take Minical or SCADA. So they will give a limit such as only 100 employees will be allowed to use the system. And so what are we going to do when we have an organization which has more than 1,000 employees, like an MNC or something? So how are we going to tackle that situation? And is the organization that willing to spend so much money into a meeting room booking system? I mean, they can do an online meeting also, but were they really willing to do it? So to eliminate this pricing and multi-domain, we have created RoomX. So I will be getting into the main workflow of our system. So we have two modules here, which is the user module and the admin module. So I'll start with the admin module first. So you have an organization, okay, let it be an MNC or a startup or any kind of organization which has subsidiaries in it. So let there be 3 or 4 subsidiaries. So what will the admin do is the admin for each organization or the parent company. So he will be downloading or he'll be integrating. By the way, RoomX is an open source software. It is a more community based application which we have developed. So the admin will be getting the companies, or he will be integrating this software into his own system. So this will be called as providers. So if there's a parent company and the subsidiaries will be the providers, because they have their own office locations, they have their own meeting rooms, and all of them will be under the same one system, which is RoomX, but there'll be a different kind of providers. Second thing is how a person or an employee from one of the subsidiaries will log in is by an organization code. The admin will be providing these subsidiary companies or the employees with an organization code through which they have to log in. Otherwise, they won't be able to log in. Next is he can see the amount of providers that people or the types of providers. He can add them, he can delete them. So it's based on the requirements. That is what he can do. Next is he'll be adding the rooms. And when I say adding a room, it means specifying the amenities, the location of the room, the type of the room, the capacity of the room. So all the features of the room will be done by the admin. He will be providing it. Next is managing the bookings. So if an employee books a room, a certain room, for example, 5 people, he wants to conduct a meeting. So, and if the employee is continuously canceling the meeting rooms, then the admin has the authority to stop him from booking any room, because he's not utilizing the resources properly, and also he's wasting a lot of time for himself and for others. So rejecting booking, accepting bookings, viewing all the bookings is what admin is able to do. Next, the main part comes under data analytics, which is generating reports.
Dear author, sorry to interrupt you, but we have last one.
Sorry?
We have last 1 minute for the presentation.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll just quickly wind up. Then he'll be generating reports, which is a detailed analytics. Then he can also send these reports to the organizations. He can provide the user support and also face any technical issues. The user, on the other hand, it's a very straight and simple process for him. He will book a room. He will check the availability of the room, the date which he wants to book the room on. He can synchronize his meetings with his calendars. Then any meetings or the rooms which he has booked, meeting rooms, a notification will be sent to him that you have your meeting from this time to this time. So just be aware, so that it will be like he'll be able to utilize the resources perfectly. And obviously he can change his account, add information and whatnot. So it's a very simple, straightforward and transparent system that we have created. So this is the implementation. When you log in, you have to put in your name, email, contact, password, and the organization code. then all these drop downs will be provided to you so that you can choose from where you want to do it. And this, the booking list, which you can see on the bottom right, is the admin module. So he'll be able to see, okay, this guy from this company has booked a room from this time to this time on this date. So this is the data analytics part. So this is the first one is average of price against provider address, which suggests that how the price of the rooms for per location, Hyderabad, Lucknow, Pune, whatnot. And the second is which location, which is provider address and count of provider ID, which suggests that which location is booking the most amount of rooms and which location is using our system the most. So it's a very simple, straightforward and transparent system which provides you with the detailed analytics, and that will be all for now. So, and these are the references that we have got into. So I think that concludes my project and presentation.
Sir, do you have any question for presenter?
Yes. So is it? Have you made this application? Is it available in Play Store?
Yeah, we have made this application.
So it is Android-based application.
It is an Android as well as iOS based application. It's not a mobile application, it's a web application.
It's a web
So
application.
yeah, so it's an open source software you can directly download into your system, and then you can customize it as per your needs. So we have kept it very open and very flexible to each and every organization or any kind of provider or person.
So are there any other applications which are providing the same thing?
There are other, I mean, when I went to the existing systems which were our competitors, they are also providing somewhat similar features, definitely, but they have a pricing issue and a limit to the pricing and the number of employees and the number of meeting rooms. So we are eliminating all of that, and we have eliminated all of that by keeping it an open source, because you can't expect an organization to invest lakhs and lakhs of rupees for a meeting room booking system, right? It's a crucial waste of money for them.
So that's the only difference from the others and your application.
Pricing and multi-domain, which I mentioned. So like there's a parent company and the subsidiaries. So what happened, this is a real life example. When you go on Google Meets and you have subsidiary companies employees with different domains, and when you example, a person is in Mumbai and the second person is in Bangalore. The guy wants to come to Mumbai to book a room in the Bangalore Mumbai's office, but he won't be able to do it even through Google Meet because Google doesn't allow that, and that is a problem that we actually faced and saw. So to eliminate that multi-domain system, we created a single coherent system for each and everyone.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Okay, so moving for the next presentation. Next we have Rishikesh Bandari, and he's going to presenting on software-driven evolution, redefining automotive industry. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yeah, sure. I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, topic of my presentation is software-defined network, software-driven revolution, redefining automotive industry. So I'll quickly walk you through the presentation and give you a basic introduction of of the research paper which I have written. So as we know, the consumer expectation in automotive industry are shifting towards the higher convenience and sophistication that is similar to the home appliance and the personal devices. So there is an increasing demand for connectivity and driver assistance in autonomous driving and improved safety measure. So the automotive industry is experiencing a paradigm shift driven by a consumer demands for a greater convenience, connectivity, autonomous driving, and enhanced safety. This evolution has emphasized the critical role of software in a modern vehicles, enabling the sophisticated functionalities and personalized experience. So, software-defined vehicles represent this transformation with the software increasingly dictating the design, operation, and continuous improvement of automotive system and independent of a hardware constraint. And this trend towards a vehicle electrification and higher efficiency standards underscores the critical role of software in modern automobiles. And definitely, sir, software-defined vehicle represent a major shift from traditional methods with a software separated from a hardware, centralized computing, and high-speed cloud connections. So this is the concept of software-defined vehicles. So I will give you a detail about what is software-defined vehicles. So the concept of software-defined network, software-defined vehicle is a centralized or transforming automotive industry by decoupling the software from a hardware. This enables the vehicle to run on a standardized software platform using a centralized and consolidating computing technologies. And this approach allows for scalability, faster development cycle, and continuous software updates over the air. By leveraging this high-speed connection to the cloud, other vehicles and smart infrastructure enhances the communication and adaptability within an automotive system. And this separation of hardware and software streamlines the development and also reduce the cost and supports the integration of advanced features such as ADS and autonomous driving. And it has a huge benefits, which some of it includes the standardized platform, centralized computing, and a high-speed cloud connectivity. And it is enhancing the automotive efficiency, functionality, and seamless integration of advanced features. Going to the literature review, we have got some authors and the country and the outcome of that particular research. So it was the SCP, the author in 2022, which has explored the software-defined manufacturing and resilient supply chain, emphasizing the importance of flexibility and adaptability in a production. And the gap was they need for a deeper understanding of integration and challenges in a different manufacturing environment, and also various DDS in ATO, which highlights the role of data-driven digital services in enhancing the vehicle feature, user experience, and operational efficiency. In Industry 4.0, technologies like Internet of Things are enabling the real-time communication and personalized, cost-effective products. And also, it examines the significance of Industry 4.0 technologies, including IoT, AI, and smart manufacturing, transforming the automotive industry. And so AI is optimizing vehicle engineering for safer, more reliable cars and showcasing a significant potential in industry. Going to the next slide. So according to research, these are some of the proposed methods where we can increase the R&D investment by OEMs. OEMs are increasing in R&D investment in automotive software to stay competitive. So here's the key technology enablers can be end-to-end architecture, which helps in standardizing a software platform and shifting to a centralized design to improve the scalability and security to communications. Also, sir, vehicle-to-vehicle connectivity, which leveraging a 5G for real-time vehicle connection and faster updates. And also, we can establish the connectivity by overcoming the challenges like real connectivity due to current dispersed end-to-end design and hardware-software integration. And we can also implement cloud computing to simplify the adoption and enhancing the real-time vehicle links with a smart infrastructure. And the results of this proposed method can be agile methodology enables the continuous software development, and which will definitely enhance the security and user experience. And also higher level software separation from hardware will improve the reusability and the scalability. Machine learning manages the life cycle of machine learning models for application like autonomous driving and predictive maintenance. And also, sir, data-driven innovation support various business benefit and enhance the product offering. So these are some of the references which I have added, and this tells us about what are the different proposed method and what is the software-defined vehicles. And going to the conclusion, the automotive industry is undergoing a significant transformation with the software playing a critical role in the future vehicles. This shift enables advanced functionalities, continuous update, and enhance the user experience. However, it also highlights the importance of robust cybersecurity and measures the need for continuous innovation to ensure the safety, reliability, and competitive in this rapidly evolving landscape. So OEMs are focusing on centralized software system and continuous enhancement through wireless update and strategic research and development investment. And sir, according to future outlook, we can see that future work includes addressing cybersecurity challenge and balancing hardware software integration to shape the automotive industry future trajectory. That's it, sir. Thank you.
A good presentation. Very nice.
Okay, so moving forward for the next presentation. Next, we have Supriya Srivastav, and she's going to presenting on strengthening crisis responses with organizational resilience strategies to achieve. Dear presenter, you may start your presentation.
Yes, sir, but I am unable to present my screen. Has
You can
someone
try it
recently
now.
shared it? Yes, sir.
Try once again.
Is my screen visible to you now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone. So the topic for today's presentation is the power of preparedness, strengthening crisis response with the organization resilience. So I have taken some table of contents has been shown here. I have taken abstract and introduction, literature review, objective, methodology, result and discussion. And lastly, I have the conclusion. So first of all, I'll start with the abstract part. The studies focused on the crisis management techniques for effective response to the disruptions. It aims to identify essential components that are supporting organizational resilience in the pharmaceutical sector. The study utilizes online and offline structured questionnaires which are gathered from six pharmaceutical industries, and it finds three key components, that is innovation and employee engagement, organization resources, and organization culture and values. It highlights the importance of these elements in improving the pharmaceutical companies which endure crisis and accept decisively. It emphasizes on the role of sufficient infrastructure, financial resources, and the technical breakthroughs in establishing resilience. I also suggest some enhancing crisis response capabilities and fostering a resilient organization culture. So first of all, we start with the introduction part, that what is organization resilience? Resilience, like every organization, are susceptible to the unforeseen circumstances and uncertainty. And uncertainty can present both opportunities and threats for the organization. The companies, how they handle the uncertainty and unforeseen circumstances to mitigate the negative effects, that is organization resilience. I have taken some definition of the resilience, that it is the capability to withstand and adapt to the changes. The concept was later transformed to social science, especially in the strategic management and economics. Earlier, it was in the psychology terms only. The role of organization resilience in global crisis is crucial. Resilience is the key of responding quickly, handling crisis successfully, and to innovate business practices. I have taken some research on organization resilience crisis management, and it has shown that it is growing in every field. Crisis management is a proactive process and it includes three stages, that is before crisis, during crisis, and after crisis. There are certain challenges in the pharmaceutical industry in Himachal Pradesh, India. The pharmaceutical industry in Himachal Pradesh faced many challenges like regulatory compliance, product recalls, natural disasters, and supply chain disruptions. The study aims to explore that how pharmaceutical companies in the region identify, prevent, and respond to the particular crisis, and there are certain factors which are contributing to their resilience. I've taken some literature review which and the attributes and process approach. The organization resilience attribute approach identify and develop the attributes which leads to the organization to endure. Key attributes include recognizing, making sense of things, having genuine awareness, which are taken from the past disaster, tackling resources with the flexibility, having trained functioning and the skill, finding other ways to solve the problem, and having communication and leadership abilities. The organization resilience process concept explains that building and acquiring the incremental capabilities with an organization is a continual process. It is never-ending process which includes the anticipating, adapting, and learning. The organization resilience is a multi-level approach which is focused on the different characteristics and procedures for resilience at both individual and collective level. Now I have taken surprise literature, crisis management, and organization resilience. Every organization is facing the degree of unpredictability and unexpected events like natural disaster, pandemic disease like COVID-19, terrorist attacks, political unrest, and economic instability, which can impact an organization's competitive resilience. Early warning signals of a crisis can help organizations to prevent disaster, and can we say that we can, without sufficient financial loss, we can recover from it. The planning, social media, information technology, experience, leadership, government are the important factors which affect the crisis management process. Why organization is important? So I have taken the importance part, which includes that organization resilience characterize how companies thrive and endure uncertain, turbulent, or difficult circumstances. But how can we recover from the crisis. It gives the companies the ability to maintain a sustainable competitive advantage, extending their lifespan and enhancing their capability to adapt and overcome from the external shocks. The primary factors, which are internal factors that also determine the organizational resilience, which includes the organizational abilities, the interpersonal relationship, communication within the organization, within the employer and the employee, strategic planning, and the work passion. Training is the most important or the essential part in increasing the organization lifespan, and in the end, organization learning increases the resilience of an organization. I have taken the objective that my first objective is to understand the factors which are responsible for the development of organization resilience in pharmaceutical industry in Himachal Pradesh. In its methodology, I have collected data from primary data I have used for the data collection. 6 companies I have taken in Himachal Pradesh, and the data I have collected on the basis of random sampling. Utilize structured questionnaire is used both in online as well as offline mode. Convenient sampling is used for the data collection. Secondary data is used to frame the questionnaire. Total size of the sample is 500, out of which 483 are the valid responses. And I have taken the factor, I have used factor analysis in my research, and for that I have used SPSS software. So here is the result and discussion. As you can see in the table that 483 employees are taken for the sample, and out of which majority are the male, we show that 56.31% are the male and 40.37 are the female candidates, which are saying that there are the factors which affect, like on the basis of their variables, these are the age, gender, and their qualifications. It shows that there is a relation, factors which affect the organization resilience. In the age gap, you can see that 38.72, which is the highest, like 25 to 35, they're like the age group, which is between the 25 to 35, they are showing the most resilience, like the factors which affect the organization. And same on the basis of your education qualification, 46.17 are the graduates, which I have which on the study basis shown that they are affecting the organization. And the factor analysis for the organization is to identify the organization resilience. For that, I have used reduced data like CPM I have taken, and on the table you can see that KMO and Bartley test are used. 0.975 is the KMO frequency, which shows that there is a sufficient sample size for the factor reduction. And Bartley says, like if it is 0.5% more than 0.5, so it shows that there is a significant value in these variables. So lastly, the conclusion I have shared that innovations and employee engagement emphasize the importance of contribution in the improvement of employee involvement. Second is the organization resources. Again, we need sufficient technology for these resources and infrastructure to support the resilience program. Then organization culture and value, which highlights the impact of common norms and ethical standards on organization resilience. And emphasizing on these factors can enhance crisis response capability for the organization. Strategies to boost innovation, resources management, and organization culture will support the long-term sustainability and competitiveness in the pharmaceutical industry. That's all from my side. So I have taken some references. That's from where I have taken the data. Thank you so much.
Okay, so is there any question for presentation? Okay, so there's no question. So moving for the next presentation. Next presentation, we have Vanishri Prabhalkar, and she's going to present on swarm robotics. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yes, just give me a minute. So kindly confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, very good morning to one and all present here. The topic of my presentation is swarm robotics. Myself, Dr. Vanishri Pabarkar. My co-author is Dr. Ruby Chanda. We are faculty at Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, Symbiosis International Deemed University. So to begin with, the topic is swarm robotics, which is derived from something called a swarm intelligence. Swarm intelligence is nothing but the collective intelligence when we refer to the ants or the bees or the flock of birds or fish which work together to achieve a particular task. That is swarm intelligence. And the topic that has derived from that is swarm robotics. So when we refer to swarm robotics, this is an approach wherein the coordination of multiple robots as a system that consists of large number of physical robots takes place. So in this, the collaborative framework or with the collective intelligence of robots results in interaction between robots and the environment. So what happens out here is multiple robots coming together, as we see here, multiple robot systems. This involves the design and implementation of systems consisting of several robots which work together to address challenges like communication, task sharing, resilience in the environment, certainty, etc. Autonomous construction and 3D printing. So these are the main concepts which we are going to talk about. Swarm robotics is used for autonomous construction tasks like 3D printing structures. A couple of examples for this I'd like to quote here and at this platform. Harvard's termites project, which is inspired by the behavior of termites. That's how it has been built. The collective intelligence which is expressed there, and how do they work in a group without really being having a particular leader, but following a particular pattern or a particular system through the algorithm. Similarly, another example which talks about ETH Zurich's robotic swarm intelligence, which is used for 3D printing, is another example that I'd like to quote here. Review of literature, when we talk about, there has been ample literature, but the key ones is what we have taken here. The first one talks about swarm-based intelligence, which are the new class of population-based, nature-inspired algorithms that can provide quick, reliable, affordable solutions for complicated problems. Direct or indirect social interaction between members of swarms is also possible here. The term stigmergy, which is essentially communication through the environment. So what happens is these robots or the swarms, they talk through the environment, because they do not talk to each other, they talk through the environment. That is what is discussed here in this concept of swarm intelligence and swarm robotics. This was initially used in the global optimization framework by Benny G and Wong in their study in 1989 as a set of methods for controlling robotic swarms. In 1991, ant colony optimization was brought by these two authors, Dorig et al., and there are multiple studies which have been carried out in this. This was considered to be novel, nature-inspired method for the solution of hard combinational optimization problems. So there are a couple of models that we are referring to: ant colony optimization and particle swarm optimization, which is in the swarm intelligence. As I explained in the earlier slide, swarm intelligence is nothing but the concept which is derived from the behavior, like the pattern that is followed by ants, bees, fish. So what they do is they follow a particular pattern. For example, when we talk about bees or when we talk about beehives, so what they do is to form a particular hive, they collect the nectar from pollens of different flowers. They do not have a particular pattern. They do not have a leader who is going to monitor or demonstrate them, but they talk through the environment, they communicate through the environment, they know what their task is. And through this activity, how can we use robots? So what happens here in the methodology is one robot is programmed and the same pattern is followed by different robots. And these all robots put in together can form buildings and castles, and they can have complex problems solved. So what I refer to in this slide is ant colony optimization, wherein ants, they refer to, when we see, they search for food particles. So they follow a particular sequence out there. They know the food sources by the way of making trials, which acts as superhighways to get their food. Bee colonies do the same thing out here. Particle swarm optimization is the method through which the computational optimization process happens. This is a pattern that is similar to the pattern of flocking of birds, fish, bees, etc. In this, the particles on the screen, they move between the spaces in order to find the best of the solution, of the optimum solution to a given problem when we talk about, and this happens through the algorithm. So the swarm algorithm illustrates the place along the velocity for every particle in order to search for that particular space. Swarm of bees, when we talk about, this is a task for each bee to consider several parameters when they make when they're making a particular height, whether it has to be at a particular height, a particular location. They have to avoid the predators. They have to look at the different water resources, the pollens, etc. So they have to consider all these factors when they are making a hive. And collectively, when multiple bees, coming together, they use collective intelligence, which is termed as swarm intelligence. In the methodology, we have a prototype out here with a single robot. So the single robot, this is embedded with the intelligence, that is the algorithm, which will be then capable to make a particular castle, a particular pattern, a particular design, a particular structure, a particular building, whatever you term it as. Robots like these will operate distinctly and will come up with the complete completion of the tasks. A single robot will carry out the actions, and this will be necessary for the completion of the task. So this robot will do is will climb and pick materials through its claw and pick up the pieces. And so there's a particular pattern that is embedded in one single robot, and that is followed by multiple robots out there. So these have sensors, pattern sensors, distance sensor, touch sensor, balance sensor, etc. Robots then approaches to the autonomy like a swarm. So once one prototype has all of these things embedded through the algorithm, the same is followed by multiple robots, which is swarm robotics, because their collective intelligence is used out there. So create building structure, what it does is it gets into a bunch of these robots that would cooperate with each other, and systematic rules are applicable, and they are embedded again in the algorithm. So each individual robot will look at the structure and they'll start making that particular work as per that structure which is given. A picture or a illustration or a map has to be available, so that in the first robot that is embedded out there. So that same idea gets percolated across all the different robots or different swarms that we call out here. Each robot looks at the patterns and they work in a group. They do not know what other robots are doing, but they know what their task is. So this happens through the simulation out there. So they can build a castle, they can have faster action. So, as I told right in the beginning, Hermes, Harvard's Termis project, which is actually inspired by the way the termites behave, the way they use the collective intelligence put in together, the way they work in groups, the way they solve the complex problems. And like you see here, they have the set rules. A single robot can be moved on by vibrations. They talk to the neighbors through wireless systems. Motion is in large groups, synchronization movement, pattern formation, having a sync is really, really important out here. And some of the examples which can be achieved through this swarm robotics is programmable materials for 3D printers, robots which are self-organized to build bridges, to build larger structures, to build buildings, to build castles. So what happens out here is you do not require human interventions out here. The human actually gives the program and the algorithm to one single robot, and further to that, the human intervention is absolutely not required. So that says that there is zero chance for any error once the program or the algorithm is appropriately embedded in the first robot. The same structure is adopted then by multiple robots. So we talk about the conclusion. Human intelligence has the capacity to protect and nurture surroundings and the nature that has been provided to us. It is the technology like swarm intelligence and swarm robotics that enhances this defined process. Collective behavior of birds or bees or fish or ants or termites, etc., is the one that is the swarm which has aided in creating innovative solutions. Many agents that are currently interacting among themselves can be elevated to a further level of this to emerge into a behavior that could be the global swarm intelligence in times to come. So human interventions as in how we progress is minimum and it is not required. That was going to lead to zero errors, and therefore by use of these robots we can have great structures defined, like the ETH Zurich's robotic system, which is used for the 3D printing, which has been inspired by the swarm robotics or the swarm intelligence concept itself. That's the study. These are the set of references that we have referred to. That's all from my side. Thank you.
It's a very nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Okay, so moving forward for the next presentation. Next we have Himali Gachar, and she's going to presenting on working of convolutional neural network in network intrusion detection system. The author, you may please start your presentation.
Sure. Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Hello everyone, my name is Himani Gajjar and today I'm going to present my paper on working of convolution neural network in network intrusion detection system. So first of all, we will see what is NIDS. A network-based intrusion detection system detects malicious traffic on network. NIDS usually require promiscuous network access in order to analyze all the traffic, including unicast traffic. NIDS are passive devices that do not interfere with the traffic they monitor. Next, we will see what is neural networks. Neural networks are also known as artificial neural networks or simulated neural networks, are a type of machine learning that uses interconnected nodes or artificial neurons to process the data in a way that mimics the human brains. Neural networks are the foundation of deep learning algorithms and are designed to learn patterns and relationships from training data. They can then use that learning to make prediction or decisions such as summarizing documents or recognizing faces and taxes. From the neural network, we have selected CNN. Why we have selected CNN? Because it can help to read large amount of data. The most essential characteristics of CNN is its capacity to reduce the number of parameters in ANN, which has prompted researchers and developers to focus on a bigger model that can be used to tackle complicated tasks that regular ANNs cannot do. CNN can learn and adapt to new attack strategy, making them more strong against threats. CNN can process large amount of data in parallel, allowing for efficient and real-time analysis of network traffic. Now we will see steps on CNN that are unpacking the architecture, convolution layers, pooling layers, and fully connected layers. First, we will see what is there in the step of unpacking the architecture of the CNN. CNN layer commonly classify into three types: convolution layer, pooling layers, and fully connected layers. The CNN's complexity increases as the data passes through the successive layers, allowing it to recognize increasingly abstract properties and larger portion of data. Next is convolution layer. Convolution layer's main fundamental is to make blocks and handling computations. This will filter large amount of text. CNN usually include multiple stack convolution layer. This start architecture allows the CNN to gradually interpret the visual information included in the raw text input. Next is pooling layer, which is an important layer in CNN as it improves the network efficiency by lowering the layer or dimensionality of the incoming data while keeping the crucial and vital information. This is usually done through downstrapping, which reduces the amount of data points in the inputs. And the most common sorting of pooling is max pooling, in which it preserves the maximum value within the given window while discarding all other values. Downsampling significantly reduce the overall number of parameters and computations. This is not only increase efficiency, but also improves the model's ability. The next layer is fully connected layer, which is the last layer in the CNN because it classifies the text using the properties required from the previous layer. The neuron is called fully interconnected when all the below neurons are also fully connected. In the fully connected layer, every input from the previous layer is linked to every activation unit, allowing the CNN to examine all the features at once before. Here we have the data set which we have divided into the ratio of 80% of So in conclusion, I would like to conclude with deep learning can only identify features in high dimensional data. It has advantage to compare to other convolution machine learning techniques. So researchers have widely used CNN or deep learning techniques to improve the IDS solution in terms of security threats and privacy concerns. Even though a lot of scholars have looked into CNN, deep learning, and machine learning in the context of IDS, in future we will see the higher rate of true positive by lowering the false negative of finding NIDS using CNN.
Okay, so do you have any question for presentation?
No question from my side.
Okay, so moving for the next presentation. Next presentation we have Alka, and she is going to presenting on role of mobile commerce in rural entrepreneurship. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, is my screen is visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Good morning all. Thank you for this opportunity. We are presenting on role of mobile commerce in rural entrepreneurship. It's a systematic literacy review paper. While reviewing the introduction, so rural entrepreneurship is mainly, it's about the emergence of entrepreneurship in the rural areas. It uses innovation and inventions to produce the low-cost items, and also they are exporting the products to other areas, and they are aim to provide job employment opportunities to the rural areas for the sustainable economic development. So these are the definition given by Kozarkar et al. 2015. So there are four forms of rural entrepreneurship, mainly we can see in Indian context. First one is textile, agriculture, forest, and mineral-based industries. While going to the mobile commerce or m-commerce, that we call it as mobile commerce as m-commerce, it's mainly about the use of wireless handheld devices like mobile phones and tablets. So it's for carrying out those business activities through online. So it's maybe in the form of buying and selling of goods, financial transactions, bill payment, etc. So these entrepreneurs and customers are mainly using this m-commerce for various reasons that we identify from the literature. It's about accessibility, mobile, easiness, safety, convenience, and there are different kinds of options for marketing, and also there are advantages and disadvantages that we can look into later. So the four research questions that we set in the study, first one is about the use, how was the use of mobile commerce aiding the expansion of rural entrepreneurship, and the second one is about what are the factors that influence the m-commerce adoption in rural entrepreneurship, and third one is about the challenges that they faced while adopting this technology innovation, and what are the future trends in mobile commerce. And while we go into the literature, we can see that during 1990s, mobile phones is reached in rural areas, but it's already reached in urban areas. But due to low digital literacy and also the reluctance of mindset and this network issues, all are the reasons that led to the implementation of this mobile commerce in rural areas. So the study is mainly relevant due to the examining of the role of m-commerce. So because the rural entrepreneurship is playing more significant role nowadays due to the creation of employment opportunities. While adopting these kind of technological innovations, people are more needed for the employment. So that kind of employment opportunities that they are providing, and also this mobile commerce opportunities helps for the customers to maintain the relationship with the entrepreneurs, and also understanding the products details or etc. So these studies mainly context is in the case of developing country like India. So the methodology that we are adopted is PAR4 SLR protocol based on certain step. It's mainly arranging, analyzing, and assessing. So the documents are available in the Scopus database were used for the analysis. So 26 search criteria are there. The most efficient search criteria that proven is article, title, abstract, and keywords that we are following. And we are initially identified 75 papers, but later on, due to the purifications and filtrations, we come up with 54 papers relevant to the aim of the study through the PAR4 SLR protocol. So we are employed the search criteria mainly in the type of documents, like we are only focusing on the like conference papers and also the peer-reviewed papers, and the low quality papers are eliminated, and the publication stage only the finally published documents were taken into account. So we can say that the mobile phones, mobile devices are helps for the communication. It's not only limited to communication, it's also for financial transactions, entertainment, information gathering, etc. So the technology is mainly playing role in the business activities, especially in the entrepreneurship. So we identify that in the annual report of Grameen for 2013. It's the identified that bill pay, mobile ticketing, mobile tracking, mobile remittance, etc. are the major type of e-commerce services that are adopted by the rural entrepreneurs, especially in the rural areas. This transaction management system, the product resource management, and this entertainment, healthcare, etc. are major types of e-commerce applications in rural areas. So mobile users mainly they are compatible with the users' cultural taste experience. So they can use these kind of mobile commerce for rural entrepreneurs to identify what are the major preferences and what are their drivers. So the major reasons for the less adoption or the late adoption of this mobile commerce in rural areas due to the mindset of the rural people and also the low digital literacy. So that we are identified through the theoretical background. Come up with this first research question. The major factors that we are identified from the literature is, first of all, the transaction that can be online transaction can be conducted through this e-commerce application, and it is affordable, and it's an easy cost way of doing this transactions to the customer's point of view. And they can regulatory support and accessibility is also providing for this e-commerce nowadays. So that are the major factors, and also the people are feeling that while going to the online experience, it is good and it is a new technology, so we can also exploit. So that kind of mindset also now changing. So that are the major factors that influencing this penetration of m-commerce application in rural entrepreneurship. And COVID-19 also one of the factor that accelerates the m-commerce adoption. So the m-commerce services that we are mainly identified in three areas: in production, human resource, and finance. In production, we can use this for place orders, improvements, status checking, and also order cancellation. And in the human resource, it's about the relationship like suppliers, employees, customers, relationships, and their identification. And finance and payments, it's more mainly the ticketing and also mainly for this online transactions. So the opportunities are mainly we identified, we categorize them into transformational advantage as well as incremental advantage. Transformational advantage is like there are services which can be provided to customers. So it's kind of easiness of their activity. So that is the transformation, transforming from traditional to the new innovative way. That is a transformational advantage. And the incremental advantages means it's overall impact, like they can reach to wider market, and also the customer acceptance is also very high. That is the incremental advantage from the normal business activities. So the major barriers is mainly the adoption, like social cultural mindset is also one of the factor that leads to the challenging thing. And the customers are feels that while going to this online transaction, the security and trust is another issue. So privacy is another issue. So that one is another challenge. And also the people are nowadays, also the traditional mindset people are often focusing on the face-to-face interactions and face-to-face transactions. So that people cannot adopt these kind of technologies. That one of the major barriers that we identified. And strategies mainly about the role of policy interventions, like the policy, like government, NGOs, and other institutions that can be coming to this rural areas for accelerating the rural entrepreneurship mobile commerce adoption. That is, they can offer financial incentives, grants, subsidies, and also microfinance loans for the rural entrepreneurs. And they can bridge the digital gap, and also more collaborative between these rural entrepreneurs and the outside agencies will also accelerate the commerce penetrations. And in the case of education, the universities, research facilities, and also NGOs can include the curriculum about this kind of technology innovations in the rural areas upliftment. So that one of the major strategies that we can implement for promoting the commerce in rural entrepreneurship. And the future trends means mainly the 5G networks is coming. So the m-commerce m-commerce can be considered as after this m-commerce only the 5G is coming. So it's kind of extension. And we can see that the agricultural entrepreneurs mainly adopting these in nowadays. So it's a kind of future trends and opportunity, because it's coming to the other sector also, especially from the vulnerable sections or the less developed areas. So that one was the future trends that we identified. In conclusion, we can say that the m-commerce offer various opportunities to rural entrepreneurs. They are providing platforms for increasing the profit, and it mainly in the role of transactions, customer relationships, relation with the suppliers, and also it's contributing to economic development, and the people are more ready to do the entrepreneurial activities in the rural areas, and this urban migration can be reduced. So we identify future research topics from the Saival topic prominence. It's about blockchain technology in secure financial transactions for rural m-commerce, role of 5G in rural entrepreneurship, and the impact of m-commerce in achieving the sustainable development goals, and what are the strategies that m-commerce entrepreneurs can be adopted in digital marketing, and the regulatory implications. So these are the future research avenues that we are identified. So these are the references that we referred for this literature review. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very interesting and very innovative topic. Just one question that according to your data, how many percentage of entrepreneurs have adopted e-commerce in rural area?
Sir, actually, while we go into the year-wise study, like in initial stage, mainly less number of people were almost we can say that 10%. But later on, this kind of 5G and the intervention of new technology, the percentage was increased, like almost 70 or 80 percentage that I identified from the annual report published in Graphon 2011, because there is a fast growing in the percentage of users. Because people are aware that these kind of technology is playing crucial role. So we can say that from 10 to 70 to 80% increase. Actually, I don't know the correct percentage, but they were mentioning this kind of approximate percentage. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear presenter, for your wonderful presentation. So moving forward, as we have completed all the presentations in this session. Moving forward for the closing remarks, I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough for everyone. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this 9th version of this conference and the previous 8 conferences of this version. We will be happy to have you all in the 10th version of this conference in 2025. Further, all the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have already forwarded to the stranger. Publication will be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team ICT4SD 2024. And I also thank our session chair for being to be a chair on the to be the chair on behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and ICT4SD 2024. So there is one token of appreciation from the team. Okay. Is there anything that you want to say to the authors?
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm very happy that organizer have given me an opportunity to chair the session. One thing I would like to suggest to all presenters that I have seen all the presentations which are in PowerPoint presentation, but nowadays the good researcher or the good presenter are preparing presentation in LaTeX. So you should focus how to take the presentation in LaTeX, especially V1 presentation. So this is just a small suggestion from my side. Thank you very much. Again, I'm highly thankful to the organizer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable remarks to the authors. And now at the end, I would like to request you all turn on your camera so we can capture the good memories of this virtual conference. I request you all please turn on your camera. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, sir, for your support during this session. Thank you. Wish you all the best for the future, everyone.